It feels like we're more divided than ever these days, right? Well, today, we're diving into a powerful idea that's all about changing that. It's a four-letter word, L-O-V-E. But listen, this isn't just some fluffy feeling. We're talking about a real, actionable framework designed to bring people back together, right from the ground up.
But before we can really get into the solution, we've got to talk about the problem. And it's something I think we all feel, right? That sense of growing distance, maybe from our neighbors or even people in our own town. It's this social disconnection that can leave us feeling pretty isolated.
So that really brings us to the big question, the one that this whole thing is trying to answer. It's simple, but man, is it profound. In a world that feels so disconnected, how do we actually reconnect? And this really paints the picture, doesn't it? On one side, you've got division. It's like everyone's on their own little island. But on the other side, you have unity, a community that's actually connected and thriving. So the real challenge, the whole point, is figuring out how we build that bridge to get from here to there.
So what's that bridge made of? What's the secret sauce? Well, this program says the foundation is simple but incredibly powerful. The answer, the framework for turning all that division into unity, is L-O-V-E.
Okay, and this is where it gets really practical. See, L-O-V isn't just some abstract idea. It's actually an acronym for a four-step action plan. It goes like this. First, you learn about the people around you. Then you open your heart to what they're going through. Next, you volunteer. You actually get involved. And finally, you empower everyone else to do the exact same thing.
And we're not just talking about a simple checklist here. This is a real personal commitment. The full pledge takes it to a whole new level. It goes, I pledge to learn, open my heart, volunteer, and empower everyone I meet, and listen to this last part, as if our lives depended on each other. Wow, I mean, that last line changes everything, doesn't it?
So you might be wondering, where did this incredible philosophy come from? Well, it's not some new fad. The entire L-O-V-E framework is actually deeply rooted in Hawaiian culture. It draws its strength from three ancient core concepts that have held communities together for generations.
Okay, so the first one is a word you've probably heard, aloha. But it's so much more than just hello or goodbye. It's really an essence of being. It's love, peace, compassion, mutual respect, all wrapped up into one. It's this idea of living in total harmony with the people and the land around you. Now, building on that foundation of respect, we get this second concept, ho'oponopono. Think of this as the community's toolkit for healing. It's a traditional practice for reconciliation and forgiveness. It's all about actively making things right when that harmony gets broken. And the third concept, ohana, is really the glue that holds it all together. Now, ohana means family, but not just in the traditional sense. It's family in the biggest, most inclusive way you can imagine. It's built on this powerful principle that no one gets left behind or forgotten. And that, right there, is the ultimate goal, to create a community that feels and acts like a true ohana. All right, so we've got this incredible philosophy, right? Rooted in aloha, ho'oponopono, and ohana. It's beautiful, but how do you actually do it? How does it translate into action? Well, that's where the 12-month community journey comes in. This is the nuts and bolts, the practical how-to. So the whole thing unfolds over a full year, and it's broken down into 4 distinct phases. And there's a real logic to it. You'll see it starts small by training leaders. Then it scales up to a big community event. From there, it focuses on the next generation by getting into schools, and then it all wraps up with a celebration of everything that's been accomplished together. Let's dig into that a little more. Phase 1, that's all about building a solid foundation. You train 25 local leaders to carry the torch. Phase 2 is where you build momentum with a big unity summit. We're talking 140 people getting on the same page. Phase 3 is crucial. It's about the future. You establish these Kona clubs in 5 different schools. And finally, Phase 4 is the celebration, a huge community event to share the story and lock in that progress. So when you put all that together, the leadership training, the big summit, the school clubs, the whole shebang, what you have is a complete year-long package for community transformation. The total investment to bring this entire journey to a community comes to $94,850. Okay, that's the plan, that's the price. But the big question is, does it actually work? I mean, theory is one thing, but what does this look like in the real world?
Let's take a look at a fantastic case study, one school's amazing transformation.
The very first place this was ever tried was at Lake Elkhorn Middle School out in Columbia, Maryland. This was the proving ground. This is where the whole idea went from being on paper to being a real, living, breathing experience for a community.
And the results? They were absolutely incredible. At Lake Elkhorn, the program just melted away the usual walls between students, parents, and teachers. Suddenly, they weren't just seeing each other as the teacher or that kid's mom. They were seeing each other as people. And that simple shift in perspective, well, it became the spark for real positive action throughout their community.
Now, a success story in one school is amazing, right? But the vision is so much bigger than that. The whole goal is to take that initial spark and turn it into a ripple effect, one that spreads way, way beyond the walls of a single school.
And the ultimate goal is something they call a K to gray connection. I just love that phrase. It perfectly captures the whole idea, right? Creating a ripple of love that connects everyone in a community, from the little kids in kindergarten all the way up to our wisest senior citizens.
So that brings us to the end, and it all comes back to a question for you. We've seen the framework, we've learned about its powerful roots, and we've seen proof that it works. So the only question left is, what ripple of L.O.V.E could your community start?